I did fall into a sport that consumed my life for many years after that, and it was by accident. I was pledging a fraternity, Sigma Nu, and I was interested in Sigma Nu because my cousin, my first cousin, my father's twin brother's son, Fletcher was his name, persuaded me that it would be a way to avoid being isolated, as I was inclined to be with studying all the time. And so in the process of being a pledge at this fraternity, one of the fraternity brothers said, I really want to jump out of an airplane down in Bardstown, and if you come, you'll be the fifth person, so we can save $2 or something ridiculous like that. And I said, well, I'm terrified of heights, and I really, please don't make me do it. And he said, well, this is part of pledging a fraternity. You just are a get-along kind of guy. And so I got roped into going, kicking and screaming. And it was everything I thought it would be. Terrifying, ugly, awful experience. And this is back in 76. No, I'm sorry, 73. 1973. I graduated from the UK in 1976. So this was 1973, fall of 73. I was 18. And so we went down to Bardstown, and it was, all this old military equipment, round parachutes, and all ex-military stuff. And the folks that ran the operation were military, and they didn't really care much about whether they wanted you to be afraid. They thought that was really wonderful if you were scared. So they didn't warm up to people. It was a tough experience. But the one thing that I picked up on that occasion was that there are people that are doing this sport that don't seem to be terrified like I am. What is wrong with me? And I just refuse to have any defects. So I grit my teeth and went back down there. Now, the rest of them didn't go back. I went back down for the second jump.
The ones who goaded you into going.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't. They'd had enough of that. So I went back down and gritted my teeth and made my second jump, and it was worse than the first. And the second jump, I told many hundreds of students after I became an instructor, the second jump is really the hardest because you know what to expect, and it terrified you the first time, so it's going to really get you the second time, and it did. Found myself not wanting to let go, sliding down the wing strut down to the strut that holds the wheel, and I'm down there looking up at the instructor, and he's screaming at me to let go, and the plane just keeps flying, and of course, if you don't get out at the right spot, you wind up in the trees, and so anyway, so that was the do or die moment, and when I did successfully make that jump, that ended that fall of 73 skydiving experience. So the winter left me to have nightmares and feelings of insecurity that just didn't have what it took to be tough. And so I went back in the spring, and I moved rapidly. And through the sport, was part of the evolution of the sport from round parachutes to square parachutes to this thing that everyone knows of today called tandem. I was involved in the process of developing that and principally just being a dummy that actually got carried with these folks that were my friends that were learning to become tandem masters, they call them. But I became an instructor and a jump master, and it's something that I did every weekend throughout my college and my law school career. And then culminated in 1980, I competed in the U.S. Skydiving Championships, which was difficult for a lawyer because you're going to be practicing on weekends, competing against the Army and competing against the Air Force, and their teams can practice all day, every day. But our team placed 9th in the top 10. in the nation in 1980. Very proud of that.